Okay, I'm going to show you how to remove blemishes off photos in Photoshop. Now this can be, we have freckles, we have pimples, dimples, rimples, wrinkles, wrinkled, whatever. We have so many things on photos, and it's very flattering to people when we can actually go in there and make them look really smooth and pretty and everything, okay? They just love that. So let's just go, we have a picture of a model here, and I'm going to actually just go ahead and just zoom in to this model here. It looks really good, right? But if you get a little closer, look what we have. Okay, we've got a couple little bad areas, okay, that we need to touch up, okay? So I'm going to actually go ahead and bring over the Navigator palette for this tutorial. I'm going to make it a little bit larger, and the Navigator palette will allow me to quickly navigate in areas on the image that I want to retouch. You see how fast that was? That's pretty cool. But I'm just going to actually drag over to this area down here. And for this tutorial, we are actually going to use these two tools over here on the toolbar. We're going to use the healing brush tool and the patch tool, okay? The patch tool is really cool because all we have to do is actually just select a bad area on the image, just like this, and then after we make a selection with the patch tool, click inside the patch tool and drag that selection to another area. But this, we're going to make sure that it's a smoother area than the area that we circled with the patch tool. So I'm going to come over here and just drag, let's say, just over here, and go ahead and release the mouse. Photoshop will do its work and actually patch that area. Look at that. So this is what it was before, and now this is after. So check that out. So that's pretty cool. The patch tool actually works very well for this. I have a little spot over here. I could just circle this little pimple, wimple, I don't know what it is, but I'll just go ahead and click in the middle of the selection and drag that selection to a smooth area on the image, release the mouse, and Photoshop will do its work and patch that up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm actually going to go ahead and delete these, or not delete, but just go ahead and undo what I just did here. And now let me show you how the healing brush tool works, okay? Now, when you're using the healing brush, I'm going to go ahead and just select that selection. When you're using the healing brush, the first thing you're going to want to do is adjust the brush itself, okay? This is very important. Come up here to the options bar, and you'll see the little brush menu here for the healing brush, okay? Now, we don't have the big brush preset picker like we do with the brush tool. It's not needed because we can do everything just fine with a circular soft brush, okay? But by default, the healing brush may be a little hard around the edges. Now it's recommended, I like to recommend to make that hardness, take the hardness down just a little bit. That way the edges of the brush is a little bit softer, okay? We are gonna get a much better result if we have soft edges around our brush. Because if it's too hard, then the touch-ups on the photo might be a little distinctive and you might be able to tell where you touched up on the photo. So I like to just take that all the way down just to 0. And you can actually increase the diameter. If you're working on a large resolution image like I am, then you may need to turn up the diameter of the image, okay, or the diameter of the brush, sorry. And then that way, and you can actually turn it up, move the cursor over here, and you can actually preview how big the brush is, okay. Now, if you don't see this size of the brush here, press the caps lock key on the keyboard, okay? So you can switch back and forth between precise brush or the brush size, okay? So that's just a little tip there. But I'm gonna actually just go in here and I'm gonna use, this looks pretty good. I'll make that maybe a little bigger there. There you go. I'm gonna click outside of that little brush options there, and there we go. Now, this is the cool thing about the healing brush tool. This is how it works. What we need to do is hold down the option key on the keyboard, okay? Hold that down, and on the PC, that is the control key. Oh, I'm sorry. On the PC, that is the alt key. And then what we want to do is just click in an area, sample an area, but this needs to be a smooth area, well, kind of like an area that you like, okay? Well, this looks pretty smooth over here. I'm going to go ahead and click in this area with the mouse. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and release the key on the keyboard, and then I'm going to move the cursor or the brush over to the bad area, okay? Then I'm going to click the mouse once more, and look what happens. We have this little cross right where I sampled up there on the top left. You see that? Okay, well, we need to make sure that little cross, when we're moving the brush, we need to make sure that cross stays within the soft skin area, okay? And if it does, then it'll really make this touch up nice. I'm going to go ahead and release the mouse, and Photoshop will go ahead and touch up that area. There you go. So this is what it was before, and this is after, okay? But let me show you something else. I want you to be real careful about this. If I hold down that option key, and on the PC, that's the alt key, and I sample an area, and then I come over here to touch up the infected area, but let's say I move up here, and then that little cross, watch, it goes into the hair. Now look, now we're touching up with hair. So that's not gonna work, and that's just not gonna look right, okay? That doesn't look right. I'm gonna go ahead and undo that. So we must stay within the area that we like, the smooth skin area, okay? If we're touching up someone's face, okay? So that's sort of important. All right, so there's a lot of ways we can do here. If you want to just touch up one little spot, okay, we can just basically just click the mouse. I can come over here, sample a smooth area, hold down Option on the PC Alt, sample a smooth area, come over to a little pimple, dimple, whatever you got, and just click the mouse, and there you go, it's gone. So it's really that easy. I can actually, I'll go over here and just select the patch tool, and I'll just drag, I'll just make this selection over here. There we go. I'll drag that over to a smoother area, release the mouse, and there you go. Now I can just keep doing this. I'm going to switch back and forth between the healing brush and the patch tool. I'm going to come over here and just draw down like this. There you go. Got rid of that. I can come over here and up here and just drag over here. There we go. Now we see we've got these little streaks and lines and stuff like that. Okay, you can also retouch up those as well. Okay. There we go. Now it's looking pretty good here. Looking pretty good. I like it. I'm just going to come over here and see this little bad area right here. There we go. I'm actually standing kind of far back from the screen, so I can't really see too much. But if you make a mistake, go ahead and undo. You can come up here to edit and undo the last stroke that you made with the healing brush, or you can actually just hold down Option Z Command on the Mac, and that's Alt Control Z on the PC to actually go back a history state, okay? If you want to do that. I'm actually going to go ahead and I can come down here and just select an area, go ahead and touch up that. So you can see when you get really good at this, I mean, you hold down Option, click in the area, and then click the mouse and to touch up, and you get really fast with this. Whoops, you see what happens? We get some of the lightness because Photoshop matches the lighting and the texture and everything when you're touching up with some of these brushes. So you need to make sure sometimes the lighting will be a little different, but check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and just touch that up. There we go, and looking pretty good, okay? All right. Now we can actually, I can actually go to other areas on the image to look around for other areas they need to be touched up, okay? Like maybe right here, if I want to just touch up that little scar or whatever that was. And so this is really cool. So this is how we can touch up blemishes and things on photos in Photoshop. And it's really easy, folks. Anybody can do this. And the more you do it, the better you get. Definitely the better you get, okay? Okay, so you pretty much get the idea. I can come in here, I could spend a little more time on it and really make it look sharp if I wanted to. There we go. Okay, so there you go. You pretty much get the idea. I can spend a little more time on it if I wanted to, just to make it look perfect. I can select this area over here and just bring that up here and just go ahead and blend that in just a little bit more. So, okay, so this is what it was before. Okay, and now this is after. There you go. So that is how we can remove blemishes off photos in Photoshop, okay? Really try this out. I've included this image for you to work on. Just go into the Remove Blemishes folder underneath the Project Files folder, open up the blemishes.psd file, and you can go ahead and just try this yourself, okay? So that way you get the experience, and so you'll know how to do it. But the more you do it, the faster you'll get, and so you'll be really jamming here one of these days. All right, so thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next video.